Ave Maria, everyone. Welcome back to the Roman Martyrology. This is May 12th. Saints Nereus and Deceleus, martyrs, who, as Pope St. Damasus relates, had enlisted as soldiers, and, driven by fear, were ready to obey the impious commands of the magistrate, but, having converted to the true God, threw away shields, armor, and spears, left the camp, and, confessing faith in Christ, enjoyed his triumph. On this day at Rome, their bodies were placed in the cemetery of Domitilla on the Via Ardiantina. Saint Pancras of Rome, martyr, who is said to have died while still an adolescent for his faith in Christ at Rome, on the 2nd mile of Via Aurelia. Near his tomb, Pope Saint Symmachus erected a famous basilica, and Pope Gregory the Great frequently summoned the people there, so that from that place they would receive testimony of true Christian love. His deposition is celebrated on this day. At Galatz in Mysia, in present-day Romania, Saint Cyril, who suffered martyrdom together with 6 companions. At Salamis on the island of Cyprus, Saint Epiphanius, bishop, who, distinguished for his breadth of erudition and knowledge of sacred literature, also shone for his holiness of life, his zeal for the Catholic faith, his generosity towards the poor, and the gift of miracles. In Agira in Sicily, Saint Filippo, priest, originally from Thrace. At Trier, in the Rhineland of Austrasia, in the territory of present-day Germany, Saint Maduald, bishop, who built and decorated churches and monasteries, established many communities of virgins, and was buried next to his sister Severa. In the monastery of the Marchienne near Cambrai in Austrasia, in the territory of present-day France, Saint Richtrude, abbess, who, after the violent death of her husband Adalbald, on the advice of Saint Amandus, took the sacred veil and with great righteousness governed the consecrated virgins. At Constantinople, Saint Germanus, bishop, distinguished for doctrine and virtue, who with the courage of faith rebuked Emperor Leo the Isaurian for having promulgated the edict against sacred images. In Castile, in Spain, at a town later honored with his name, Saint Domingo de la Calzada Garcia, priest, who built bridges and roads for the use of pilgrims of Santiago de Compostela, and lovingly provided for their needs in the cells and in the guest house, which in this place he had built. At Bologna, Blessed Imelda Lambertini, virgin, who, welcomed from an early age as a nun in the order of preachers, while still a young girl, after having received the Eucharist with extraordinary devotion, suddenly admitted her spirit. At Aveiro in Portugal, Blessed Joanna, virgin, who, as daughter of King Alfonso V, having refused marriage several times, preferred to serve in the order of preachers, becoming a refuge for the poor, orphans, and widows. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. Ave Maria.